Hi, I'm Grant Mukai here at Elm Bank for the 15th Annual Mass Marketplace, and I'm here with the festival, and I'm here with Penny Jenkins, who is the main organizer. So can you tell me a little bit about what's going on here today?
Sure. We have various different vendors here who come to sell their wares and show their wares. We have wonderful clothing designers, people who hand paint silk scarves. We have food vendors with homemade jams and jellies. We have people who have garden art, most of which is also handmade. And then we have people selling plants, some beautiful plants on the property here, and a potter, and a couple of book vendors. One lady is here with all the books that she's written and has a big display, and her books have an environmental theme and a farm theme, so they kind of fit right in with our venue here. We have jewelry, if I didn't mention that. There's a country store vendor who's never been here before who has wonderful handmade things.
Well, I'm here now with Heather Cohen, who is a textile designer, and she's going to tell us a little bit about these batiks.
Yeah.
First of all, for people who might not know, what are batiks?
Batik is a method where you use wax to resist dye. And so every piece starts out as a white blank, and wherever I put wax in the design, for instance here, like the leaves, they stay that color that it originally was, and then you dye color on top of that. And wherever the wax is, the color cannot penetrate. So it leaves the design behind. Yep.
Okay. Now, what type of articles of clothing are these?
These are scarves, shawls, wraps, whatever you'd like to use them as. And everything is silk, as far as the scarves are concerned.
Now, as I understand it, every one of these pieces started out as a white blank.
A white blank, and
so you
every
start
one
completely from scratch.
completely from scratch, yeah. And every one of them is designed by me. They're original designs. Yeah, I was a textile designer for 30 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of your designs were influenced by time you spent in Zimbabwe. Is that
Zimbabwe, yes. I actually had an aunt who's a very, very famous artist in South Africa who used to train me as a child. And I literally grew up in her studio. Yeah,
Okay.
and that's where I got the influence from, was from her.
And now, what were you doing in Zimbabwe? Was it to learn about the
Well,
art,
I
or was
grew
it
up
something
there.
else?
I wasn't born there. I was born in South Africa, but grew up in Zimbabwe and went to school right up until college. And then when I was ready to go to college, I went to South Africa, to an art and music school in South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in addition, you have some that are in a Japanese style. Is that
Yeah,
it?
the others are shibori styling, which is this, where a lot of people think it's tie-dye, but it's not. It's a much more lengthy process, and it just gets all these variations and stripes in color.
And now, is this produced the same way with the wax, or is it
No,
different?
completely different. Yeah, it's just dyed in a bath, and it's scrunched and pleated as I go with each color. Yeah.
You're currently watching our arts programming, but as most of you know, I also have a sustainability show. So I was very surprised when I was here at Elm Bank and I came across the booth for locally.co. And I'm sitting down now with Dan Smith, who's going to tell me a little bit about what this startup is.
Sure, thanks Grant, and thanks for stopping by. It's Locally Co. It's a great new business, and the premise is that we are an online shop that allows consumers to shop across many farms, not just one, pick and choose exactly what they want, and then we do the delivery from the farm to your door. So in some ways, it's like a CSA, which is a buying group with one farm, but we spread it across many farms, so you get better selection, no commitment, and you can pick and choose exactly what you want.
Okay, so this is great consumer choice. But you were telling me earlier that it's also better for the farmer. It's a good option for the farmers as well?
It is, yeah. So when we were looking at getting started, we spent a lot of time talking with local farmers, and consistently we heard that the margins that a farmer gets when they sell through a retail channel are really poor. So when you spend $1 on local food, some studies show that it's as little as 20 cents makes it to the local farmer. If you were to spend $1 on local food through our platform, 85 cents of that goes to the local farmer. So here we're able to give more of the revenue to the farmer, making their business more attractive and hopefully letting them scale up so they can become a bigger part of our food system.
Now, as we mentioned, this is a startup, so you guys aren't quite in operation yet, but you're planning to start with Metro West and some areas in downtown Boston. Is that it?
Yeah, that's correct. So we're a startup. We're recently funded, and we're ramping up our team and staff and operations. We're launching a pilot in September. The pilot will include, as you said, Metro West and Boston. And right now we're signing up farmers from Western Mass, from Northern Mass and Southern Mass, as well as New Hampshire and Vermont. And we expect to launch on September 1.
Okay. I'm outside now here at the booth for Copper Cuties, and Linda
Yes.
is going to tell me a little bit about what she produces.
Hi, I make garden features, little people you can stick in your garden as vocal points. I make cattails, garden stakes, flowers, and it's all made out of copper tubing, copper wire that I make myself.
Okay. Now, where did are these recycled materials at all, or where do you get them?
Some of them are recycled, some I have to buy new if I can't find it.
Okay. All right. So, what are some examples of some of the creations you have here?
Little fisher girl, her name is Pollywog, and she's fishing. You can put her in a water pond, water garden if you have one. We also have her father Otis. He's fishing too.